So Gene Pirro is the new prosecutor for D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office. And here's the thing: a lot of these U.S. attorneys and their prosecutors are going to be going to jail over the years because they have no respect for the law. Where am I getting that from? Bovine. Where am I getting that from? The head of U.S. Attorney of California. Understand this: these guys, they don't care. They're Trumpers. They're loyalists. The current one that just got Senate confirmed, Jeanine Pirro in D.C., was a big proponent of firing the prosecutors of January 6th. So let's fire the prosecutors of January 6th, and of course pardon the people who broke into the Capitol. Now I know a lot of you are outraged and mad. I'm not. I knew this had to happen. I knew it. It did. There are those of us, particularly who are black, but understand we knew this had to happen because there were people who did not believe, that this could happen. They laughed at us, thumbed the nose at us. Oh, you talking crazy. People either sat on the couch or voted for Trump. And now it's happening. And that's why I said Kamala Harris is going to be the next president of the United States. Seriously, I believe it so much that I put an undisclosed amount bet with a professional firm for money. They got her ranked. They got that chance ranked 30-1. And I'm like, I'll take that bet. She's going on a book tour. She's going to talk about a lot of things. She's going to support people in the midterms who need support that she aligns with. And then in 2027, she's going to make the announcement, and she's going to show up early, and she's going to blow up hard. She's coming. She's coming. She's coming. I'm saying it like, I used to work in the music business and film business, right? I remember people like Jay-Z and because I worked with Jay-Z, there's a platinum plaque over at the end there. I worked with several Jay-Z albums. I didn't personally know Jay-Z. I met him several times, but it was just business. I was his rep here in Chicago for lifestyle and colleges. Okay, let me be 100% because some people are like, Jay-Z or you're lying. Like, no. Those are RIAAs. No, they're not. They're distribution. There are three types of plaques you have on the wall in the music business: RIAA, distribution, or streaming. And those are distribution. So let me get that out the way, because every now and then I'll get some hater who doesn't even know. They may work in the music business and still don't know about this shit. So let me get back to the story. Thing is that John Gotti, the late John Gotti, Irv Gotti, the late Irv Gotti, from Murder Inc. and Jay-Z said something about 50 Cent. They said, dude, 50 Cent's coming. Y'all need to get your albums out because this guy is going to have a killer album. And they were right. He sold almost 15 million copies. Get Rich or Die Trying. It was a killer album. I worked on that project. It was a killer album. It was a killer album, a major win for this guy. And the way he's been able to flip his career around has been incredible. Now, what am I talking about here on this side? Kamala Harris going to come back like, oh my God, she's coming back like a thief in the night. Like, man, listen, I ain't saying it's going to be easy, but she coming back like a thief in the night. And they're afraid. They ain't telling you that, but they're afraid. And this all relates back to, let's put these prosecutors in. Let's gerrymander here. Let's do what we can do to do what we can do. When in actuality, they can't do shit. They in trouble. This is bad for them. It's going to hit them badly. Badly. And so here you got Jeanine Pirro, who's in here, the latest induction into this, the Yahtzees. And it's like, no. It's not going to go down. It's not going to go down. In other words, she's going to try to do bad things. You're going to think all hope is lost and doom. And I'm telling you, all hope ain't lost and all ain't doom. They're going to be U.S. attorneys and prosecutors going to jail. Why do you think over 10, 11, for the first time ever, prosecutors left the Southern District of New York, SDNY, left them. It's like, I ain't about to lose my license. Shit. understand this. Right now, Trump's score is 15 and 107 in all these court cases in the last 28 weeks. I'm amazed how many people don't even keep count or even report that on the left. It's like, really? But here's the interesting part about all of that. What we're witnessing right now is people who are trying to terrorize from the right through the Trump administration, when in actuality, they're in a lot more trouble. And I think on the inside, they know it. They got a failing president who's failing in his policies. He's failing in his health. We got J.D. Vance, who's ready for the reins as soon as it comes in. I think he'll be just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than Trump. And I've said that on the record for months. Don't underestimate that man, because he's not going to play it the same way as Trump. And I think that with these prosecutors that are here, these prosecutors that come in, that they put in here, these attorney generals who are just saying, fuck the Constitution and fuck the law and fuck the judges, not a good play in the legal world. The legal world's going to remember this. There's 677. Remember these numbers. There are 677 lowercase judges across 94 districts across 50 states. And in the last 28 weeks, we've had judges not only from Reagan, both Bushes, and Trump go against them, just as well as the Democratic judges say, no, this is against the law. It's just blatant. You can't just say, fuck the law. So there is a separation of powers in many ways. There's a civil war, really 5 types of civil wars, but the ones I'm talking about right now is the judicial branch, the lower courts versus Supreme Courts, lower courts including the appeals courts. They're like, no, you can't do this. This is a problem. We got issues with this, and rightfully so. We're dealing with one heck of a battle for our lives. Just frankly, a battle for our lives. But here's the good news. In many ways, we're winning. It doesn't feel like it, I know. But I want you all to understand, despite all of these horrible people they're choosing, I think Cat Williams said it best in Trump's first term. He's like, man, everybody he's choosing is like from the Legion of Doom, from the Justice League's cartoons. It's like, Bizarro, Superman, Solomon Grundy, he's just choosing everybody. You could be the worst, most evil person ever. But remember, from the first term, a lot of those people went to jail. And apparently this crew must be double. So Pam Bonnie's an idiot. She's an idiot. She's smart. She's so smart, she's stupid. You ever seen somebody who is clearly intelligent, which I give it to her, but she's so smart, she's stupid. Because it's right in front of your face. This man's history of there are lawyers in jail right now because of Trump. People who are willing to say, fuck the judges, fuck the law. And one of those, by the way, I said he was 15 and 107. One of those cases against him was the American Bar Association, and they won. Pam Bondi going to lose her license. She's going to lose her job, may lose her freedom, and any order of that. She also doesn't understand, there's a whole class of white women. And white women, you might get in your feelings about this, but I'm telling the truth. There's a whole class of white women who think that they're part of that good old boy club that you're not. It's the same thing we talk about with black folks. Some black folks think they part of the good old boy, white boy club, and they're not. And I'm trying to tell you, she's going into that area where she's going to catch it. And all the people all the way down are going to catch it. You're going to have the U.S. attorneys. You're going to have the prosecutors. You're going to have a lot of people because the law will catch up. Trump got 3.5 years or less than 3.5 years. What happens after he's gone? Now, a lot of people think, well, J.D. Vance is going to take the reins. He's going to try. But Kamala Harris is going to eat that man alive. Now, Gavin Newsom, good choice. He could also fight off. He could also fight it off. But Kamala's coming back. I just see it. I just see it. I even put my money on it. Literally. But what I'm trying to tell you right now, as we go to this pathway to presidency, they know they're dealing with a time clock. It's tyranny with a time clock. Don't think for 1 second they're winning. And don't think for 1 second these choices they have, like the newest one, Jeanine Pirro, is going to make a difference. Because Jeanine Pirro could lose her license and be out as well. Hang tight. Watch what happens. If you like to hear in-depth things that I do, I strongly encourage you to join my Clarity group. The link is in the description and in the page right there. Clarity group. Why is that so important? Because my Clarity group helps you do 3 things. 1, go from chaos to clarity so you can feel 1,000% better. People have said that I removed the terror from their hearts. 2, it also helps you understand the few things you can do and not feel bad about it, because I bring you to number 3, which is what you shouldn't be doing. There are things you shouldn't be doing. I talk about things like how to protect your mind and spirit of what's going on in the midst of this, how to empower your peace in the midst of Trumpism. How do you fight this? How do you do it? That's a powerful thing, because the better you feel, the less medication you need, the less chances of a stroke or a heart attack. We're not going to let this man stress us out. Join my group. And I get to say things about the election, about Epstein, about Kamala Harris. I just did a live with replay, recorded replay. As soon as you join, you can get in. Here's the replay under products and under live replay on the pathway she's going to have the presidency. And I'm talking about all the stuff that you can't talk about on social media, or you get flagged, or your stuff gets, restricted, or you get banned. That's why I created a private group. Come on aboard.